Hi, my name's Andrew Browne, Browne Family Vineyards. I'm here today to talk to you about Washington State. We're sitting here in a wine cellar, and I thought this would be a great spot to talk about the difference in Washington wines. We've got wines from all over the world here. Why did I choose Washington State? Well, I'll tell you, if you fly into Seattle, Washington, you think, what are you doing growing grapes in the state of Washington? A lot of rain, a lot of green. It's these giant mountains, the Cascade Range, that keeps the clouds and traps them in here, and we get a lot of rainfall in western Washington. As you go east, it turns into a high desert. We've got this incredible irrigation coming out of the Columbia River Basin and the Columbia River, which allows us to drip irrigate literally anywhere you want to in eastern Washington. It allows for a diversity. It allows for us to focus on soil types and different elevations. I'm showcasing here today 5 distinct Cabernets, and if we could be tasting them right now, you're going to get 5 absolutely different taste profiles, even though they're all called Cabernet, even though they all come from the same vintage. That is the diversity of Washington State. Some unique pieces about Washington State that you might not know. I like to talk about the diurnal swing. We get some really warm to hot days, but it cools off dramatically at night. That locks in acidity. Think of yourself biting into a Washington State apple and think about that sweetness, but also the crispness and the acidity that balances it out so that you want that second and third bite. That's the diurnal swing from Washington State. Washington State also 2.5 hours more sunlight during our growing season than standard north coast of California. That is a lot of extra sunlight in Washington grapes. I would say that the last distinct characteristic that I like to pull out of Washington State are the Missoula floods that came through, and they stripped the land and they took it down to its bare bones, and then we had a lot of volcanic activity after that. And what we've seen, even from the Mount St. Helens explosion, is that when you get a lot of that volcanic soil there, it turns into an absolutely incredible growing experience for anything that you're growing in that soil. And that's what we do with Washington State grapes. I hope you enjoy Washington State wines. I chose it. I hope you choose it. Thank you very much.